We were very happy with the punitive damages award.
Why do you think they were so high? Because of his behavior?
Yeah, because under the law of punitive damages, a jury is allowed to and actually should consider what it will take, what monetary amount it will take to get the person to stop.
So the idea with the jury was it's going to take a big number to get this guy to stop.
Exactly. That all he really understands is money, and so you should award an amount of money that will make him stop. Whether that will succeed, I don't know. I sure hope it will.
If he continues to defame her, will there be more? I mean, is it potential there's another case?
I'm too good of a lawyer to tell you that, but everything's on the table.
So he should be on notice about what he says from now on about this.
He should be on notice, and he should be on notice that if he keeps saying it, it could cost him a lot more money.
What is the likelihood this ruling will stand, or that the damages will stand?
Very, very high. We had one of the most well-respected judges in New York City, Judge Kaplan, no relation. The jury was great. And the law and all the tough legal issues in the case have already been dealt with. The issue about what he said when he was president has been dealt with under the Westfall Act. The issue about him waiving presidential immunity has been dealt with already by the Second Circuit. So there's not really much left for them to appeal.
The steps, though, are what? There's a Second Circuit, or
they'll go to the Second Circuit, which we've already won in this case, I guess, 3 times now. But they'll go again to the Second Circuit. But there's really not much left for them to argue.
What would be the grounds for him to appeal? I mean, are there particular things that happened in the court or that filings that occurred?
I think you're going to hear kind of what people were hearing. I'm told what he and his lawyer, Lena Haba, said today, that the judge was unfair, that he should have had a do-over, he should have been able to retry the assault and the defamation again, that it was biased, he wasn't allowed to speak, yada, yada, yada. None of that's true. He had the fairest trial he possibly could have had with one of the most experienced judges in this country, and none of that's going to be even remotely persuasive to the appellate judges.
If the Second Circuit then declines to or rules against him, can he take it higher?
He can't take the defamation claims probably higher. He may be able to bring up some of the issues about presidential immunity, but that's already been litigated as well. So it's very unlikely.
There have been plenty of cases where a jury awards a huge verdict and it gets knocked down later on. Do you anticipate E. Jean Carroll actually seeing this money?
Completely she'll see this money. So the kinds of ratios that the courts get concerned about are ratios over 6 to 1. Here, we're well within that range.
6 to 1 based on the person's income or
based
something?
on the compensatory damages.
Okay.
So here, compensatory damages are $18 million. So 65 punitives with $18 million compensatory is not that big of a ratio, and I can't imagine any court having any problem with it.
Is it possible, I mean, you also hear, there's been plenty of defendants who have a big judgment against them and somehow finagle away, declare bankruptcy or figure out a way not to pay. Do you think he's going to pay?
I think he's going to have to pay. And whether it requires him to sell something or to put a lien on something to get a loan, that's his problem, not ours. He's going to pay, and Judge Kaplan, through judgment enforcement mechanisms, will make sure that he pays. And indeed, even to take the appeal, he's going to have to at least put up a bond of 20% of the amount.
You're obviously very experienced. What was this whole experience in the courtroom like?
I've been in a lot of courtrooms in my time, especially in New York City, and I've seen a lot of judges. I have never seen a party be so openly contemptuous of the authority of the court and the authority of our justice system and the legitimacy of our justice system as Donald Trump. And I think the best thing of today, other than the vindication that E. Jean Carroll so deserved, is that today was a good day for our system of justice. Today was a day that showed that the rule of law applies to everyone. Even if you don't think the rule of law applies to you, it applies to you, and applied today to Donald Trump. I'm
always interested when I see depositions of the former president, because for somebody who has been sued as much as he has and been involved in lawsuits, and I assume deposed often, he seems like a terrible witness in depositions. I haven't seen him on stand, but I imagine on the stand as well. How do you rate him as a defendant, given his experience in the justice system?
Well, so to be a good party in a case and to be a good witness in a case, you want the jury to believe you and to think that you tell the truth. And the very big problem that Donald Trump has is really no one believes he tells the truth. And in this case, he lied again on the stand. He again said, I stand by everything I said in my my deposition, which was I did nothing to E. Jean Carroll, never met her, she's a whack job, never heard of her. So he not only committed perjury, But the jury themselves saw him commit perjury, and then they watched his deposition video where he pointed out, as everyone knows, that famous photo of him and Ivana and E. Jean and her then husband, and he points to E. Jean and says, that's Marla Maples.